So last time we had finished up to shloka number 34. Any questions? Any points you want to make? Any observations of what we have covered so far till shloka number 34? Any doubts?
Till one has seen the entire spectrum of the manifested world, it's I think difficult to surrender to the Lord. Like as Arjun, first he wanted to know about the glories, but he had kind of said that he believes everything Bhagwan told him, but yet he wanted to see the Vishwarup, and it's only when he saw that monstrous form, uh, perhaps that the time when one kind of gets Vairagya, or just wondering.
I think he was carrying the anxiety of winning or losing the war.
It was just that.
Which is where it started. He said, I can't fight this battle. And so whilst...
And also losing the loved ones.
Obviously, right.
The pain and the grief.
All that.
He didn't want to kill his relatives.
So he started from there, and till the time he does not see that actually getting to take place. And Krishna has understood that very well. Even if he has not said that I want to see that particular act where they're all getting destroyed, he brings the entire focus to that only. And to do that, he has to show his that particular form which is causing so much terror in his mind, the terrorizing form.
So he may wanting to see that, to be at peace that they're going to die or they're that enemy. But is there the other element of believing and having faith and evidence that he is what he says he is?
So there is that disconnect between having that faith and actually seeing the scene.
Exactly.
Correct. So he is glorifying and he accepts that he is the master, he is the Lord, he is the creator, he is the one who is the Vidhata and eternal and Atma and all that, because he has himself a base in all that knowledge. Okay, so he's supposed to be Pandit himself, Arjuna. But to really accept that they will get killed and therefore he should fight without having any fear, he is still asking that question. That leap of faith between the action and the Shraddha which he has carried with him.
Well, the reason I ask that is that I'm thinking about us. That from chapter 6, it was all conceptual and belief. Onwards, that leap of faith. He had the evidence. We don't.
You have the evidence as given in the text here. If you look at any other text, even in the Hindu pantheon of scriptures, there is no text which gives that evidence. Across all spiritual texts across the globe, nobody gives that specific evidence. Okay, this evidence also is therefore subject to the fact, and you can have this evidence subject to the fact that you are capable of it. And he talks about it later. It may not be in the same Vishwarup darshan form, but it will be in some form.
At least one can understand how Bhagwan says that I am also the destroyer of
Correct. So instead of just the creator, just the one who is like Vishnu, taking care of everybody, he's also now the person who's showing himself to be the destroyer, which is really what is required if there is a war. रुद्र रूप, शिव रूप, हम विष्णु रूप में देखते रहे उनको.
But it's a, like, like how you're saying, it's so simple for him to be doubtful of his whether winning or losing, because हमको पता है वो ईश्वर हैं और वो अर्जुन हैं, but उनको तो अपने आप को वो he is seeing himself in a very normal, simple रूप. उनको तो अब बाद में ये सब पता चला कि ये जो विराट वाला, but those questions are so obviously innocent and full of doubts, which even we have to be reminded ourselves. I think हम लोग भी अपने आप को याद करते हैं कि हमारे में इतना potential है. Whenever we are going through any kind of exam, even a normal exam as a student, for example, so someone has to remind us of our potential. So the whole thing about Arjun not knowing the capacity of Krishna does happen with most of us, I guess.
Okay.
So I guess we are at the Yashoda level, who would not realize versus Arjun who could.
Now you're making another point actually, or are you making the same point as
No, I
what
was
you?
at the same point.
Okay, so I didn't get your point. Then.
It's okay. I think I was just talking what I was thinking, so nothing concrete. It's just that for anyone, like हमारे साथ ईश्वर है कि नहीं, हमें वो पता नहीं होता है. We don't know.
So we need to be reminded.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. Just
Yes.
like Krishna had to be reminded that he is the Ishwar, and he had to show that form to Arjun,
Yes.
and that is how it sort of transpired.
Yes.
So even
Even so, let's answer that question. Okay, Krishna is aware. Okay? He is in a human form.
Hmm.
He's aware of that fully. And if you therefore understand Krishna playing the role in Mahabharata, he is always a facilitator. Okay? He is not somebody who is actually going to act himself. Except when we look at the first instance of Kans, or that time when he was a child, in that particular stage, later on he is not ever fought battles, he has not done anything like that. Okay. He has remained in terms of being present to whoever was interested in knowing him. If you read Mahabharata, he has not played a very active role in all that which is happening at various stages. The focus is not on him. Okay. But there are people who have understood from what he was as a kid that there is something unique in this character. And whenever he comes into any hall, any assembly or anything, he makes his own presence by whatever he has to say. Because what he'll say is about dharma. What is right is? What is it that he perceives is? Or he'll put a question across in those assemblies in a way that he'll provoke people to think towards the righteous. Okay, so all those instances are there. He's aware, fully aware. Even at the time when Duryodhan and Arjun land up to seek his help, he is fully aware. And he also understands very well that who is the person who actually thinks of me, who's my friend, who likes me, who has any feelings for me. Without telling everybody in the world that he is so and so or whatever. And that is why he knows that Arjun is the one who is liking him. He will stick by Arjun, or Arjun will stick by him. And that is how they come together. And he's not fighting the battle.
Yeah.
Here also he knows that my battle is going to be fought by Arjun. Krishna knows that my battle is going to be fought by Arjun.
Through Arjun.
What is his battle? It is not his battle actually. What he is saying that I have come is युग में इस संसार का उद्धार करने के लिए मैं आया हूँ.
मैं हथियार नहीं उठाऊंगा.
हाँ, उसने फिर बाद में बोला कि मैं हथियार नहीं उठाऊंगा. He is supposed to have all the most powerful weapons, but he is not taken any of them.
So, as a human mind conditioning, we are so used to believing in the miracles. जब तक हमें miracles नहीं दिखते हैं, तब तक हमें उस चीज का एहसास नहीं होता है about the power.
That is the problem with the mind. And even if we see a miracle, we don't want to believe it.
Doubt comes to doubt.
We ourselves are a miracle as we are sitting here. Okay? Each of us. Okay? It cannot happen just by.
Sometimes miracles, I mean, they are
We don't
subtle.
accept it. We don't accept it.
Yes, but I
Because
think
we
if
are told
apply
by-
our mind, some things do seem miraculous, although they may not be the obvious ones we are
Yeah.
used to. But then some things are beyond explanation, and then you realize that it was a miracle of some sort.
So we took an example of Ganesha drinking milk.
Yes.
You remember that? Yeah. So in that sense, if you want to look at a miracle, I think that is what I've seen in my little time spent on this earth. But
Actually, that was exactly my question. Whether you call it miracle or you call it evidence.
so the
Something
evidence,
to,
let's understand the evidence part of it, okay? So the fact that this existence is there, where can it come from? There has to be a primal seed somewhere which would have led to this existence. And we're calling that seed to be the creator.
all that I said, the conceptual part is beautiful, perfect. But
You need evidence for that.
Is no. That came from something called God, and praying to God can get us moksha. That component comes later, no?
Yeah.
Your Genesis, destruction, everything is fine.
Yeah.
No doubt. But this whole are taking many births to understand and realize and reach. That part and this are two independent parts in my mind.
Well, if you look at Genesis, that's one part, yes. But if you look at how Genesis leads to all this, has been also explained. Right? It's been explained as to how over
No disagree.
lakhs of years or whatever we have seen that. Okay. Now the question is that how do you retain that little miracle in your mind that I, in my own existence, is that itself, which I forgot.
That is also fine. But linking that to Krishna, that Genesis is from Krishna, and therefore I should pray.
He is not saying that.
It's implying.
He is implying because he is helping you to understand that which you are, which is what he is saying as you go along also.
If you consider that the goal of the discourse, there are two possible goals in this entire discourse. One of which is to get Arjun to pick up his arms and fight the battle. And Krishna uses whatever means he needs to, and to the extent that he needs to, only to the extent that he needs to convince Krishna to join the battle.
But the other is Krishna represents us.
No,
And the
so I'm
whole
saying-
idea
I'm
is
saying that is
to, dis-
a primary
to
objective,
disseminate knowledge to the whole world.
because he is the agent
Yes,
of Krishna
yes,
to complete the executions
yes.
by dubious means in pretty much every case. But leave that aside.
Yes. Leave that aside.
Leave that aside. The idea is to get him to pick up his Gandhi again. If that is the primary objective, then everything else is collateral to that. That's one perspective. The other perspective is that the primary objective is to share with humanity a larger discourse, and using Arjun and Gandhi as the
Symbols.
stepping stone to give that guidance and input over the generation.
But
Yeah, so if we look at the first page, which we read obviously on the day one or day two of our entire set of sessions, it is very clearly given that the purpose of this is जो मोक्ष प्राप्ति के लिए जिनकी उत्सुकता है उनके लिए ये ग्रंथ है. ठीक है,
That's
ये
what I thought also,
हाँ,
yeah.
this ग्रंथ is not for anything else.
Who has written?
Huh? This has been written by Adi Shankaracharya.
So
Correct.
that is-
Now let's
that is
understand.
the adoption of one of these two perspectives.
No. So he
By-
has
by
he has
the
put that as the beginning of the scripture. Now as we go along, Krishna is saying pretty much the same, and we can go shlok after shlok to understand that. Here and there he is telling Arjuna that how should he fight the battle and why should he fight the battle. Okay, but he is largely giving you that understanding which helps him to fight the battle or lead his life, essentially telling us also that how do you lead a life which has to face certain situations, and therefore how do you perform karmas and don't sort of walk away from them. So this is really about that. Otherwise, why should he mention that this is the only way of reaching me? What is the purpose? And therefore I will liberate you. What is the purpose?
if it was formal, it's a story. It's a letter, that's why we are here.
Huh?
I'm saying that therefore there are two perspectives, and therefore the questioning that is being done within the group and outside the group is based on where the mind is understanding which is the perspective to follow.
So there is only one
There
perspective
is
to
no
follow.
other doubt.
No, that's not. It's only one perspective, but I want to go there, I want to believe it. I'm saying, show me something which will help me believe. That's all.
Is that so?
But you know, I would
No,
slightly. Huh?
that part I'll certainly address. But first, let me finish with Rahul's question.
Yeah, I still feel that there are two possible perspectives
So there
which
is-
the reader can follow.
So there are no two possible ways. Okay, we'll just read this chapter itself, and you'll come to that understanding anyway. It is coming up pretty clear. Okay, and what is the question you were sort of alluding to?
Again and again, the same thing.
So that give me a proof.
Yeah.
So you're going to see the proof. If you are going to apply your mind to what he is telling you to apply your mind to, you will see the proof. Yeah. Now your question.
I don't have a question actually. No. I was just saying that if you have eyes, you see the proof of it every day. How does the Siberian crane travel thousands and thousands of miles and it always comes to the
Well,
swamps in
same way.
Bharatpur? It doesn't get lost. It doesn't go to China by mistake. Huh? Then how does the salmon? It's born in a river, and then it spends its entire life in the ocean, and it comes back to the same river to give eggs, and it dies in the same river. How does it find its way? I mean, there's zillion things in nature which are miracles every day.
They're
But we are
miracles.
so blasé that you take it for granted.
Miracles are because we don't understand.
Huh?
Miracles are because we don't understand.
If you
But they are
see
natural,
it, yes.
just like we are. So
Huh?
let's understand and let's read forward. Okay, this is something endlessly we can toss between one side to another. Okay, so let's read the shloka number 35. So Sanjay is speaking in the shloka, and somebody can read this in English, please.
Hearing these above words from Krishna, Arjun, trembling and with folded hands, spoke falteringly, when in pain
So
or
let's
sorrow.
just. So, what he heard from Krishna was that of bhai, fear, terror. Okay? And therefore, when he sees that form where there are people disappearing into mouths which are burning, blazing mouths, and there is flesh and there's blood and all that, okay, he obviously is extremely horrified. And he's speaking, therefore, opening his mouth falteringly, trembling with a lot of fear. And let's understand that fear and what sort of speech, okay? Please.
When in pain or sorrow, a person is fearful,
Right? So
and
here he is in some sort of a pain, seeing this entire vision which he has been shown. Please.
due to feeling of pleasure, and when in love,
Now let's hold there. Okay. When in pleasure. So he is feeling, he had felt very good when he saw the form initially. And he is obviously been in, he's had love with Krishna. He was very close to Krishna. Okay. So all the four aspects, three aspects are shown here. And obviously, at this moment, because the last vision is that of horror, terror, bhai, fear, that is overpowering. Okay, so that is the one which is being followed here more clearly as we read the rest of the sentence. Please.
and when in love, a person's eyes brim with tears. At such time, the throat chokes with phlegm,
Phlegm.
phlegm, and words spoken become unclear, and the speech becomes low in pitch.
So now we can go back and look at ourselves where we had fear, we had feeling of pleasure, hush, joy, and feeling of love. When the voice, it becomes very difficult to speak. The, the throat almost chokes. Okay, and the sound which comes out very softly, falteringly as well. Okay, and you can imagine that as the condition in which Arjun is speaking. Please.
Such speech is qualified as faltering or gadgad. In this manner, repeatedly, seized with fear, bound to Krishna, he spoke with extreme humility or submission. Here, the words spoken by Sanjay are with a purpose. Once the unconquerable Drona, etc., four warriors are destroyed by Arjun, defenseless Duryodhan is also dead. On believing this, Dhritarashtra, not seeing hope of victory, would consider truce, and both sides will accept peace. But influenced by fate, Dhritarashtra did not seem to hear these words.
Okay, so this is what Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra, and this has been brought here as a shloka. ठीक है? Should we move forward? Please.
Arjun spoke. It is proper. What is that? It is only proper that the world is rejoicing when hearing you and praising your grandeur. Besides, the word proper is an adjective defining Bhagwan, since he is the Atma of all and friend of all beings. Here it should also be interpreted that this world which reveres and loves Bhagwan, its affection is in the right subject. Also, all the demons are fleeing in different directions is also proper, and so is that the seers, realized ones, are bowing is proper.
So, as soon as the shloka starts, Arjun is now speaking, and he's speaking falteringly. So you can see that he is not able to put his thoughts very, very clearly. So he starts with something, it is proper. That's a very open word. Okay. And that he is saying that obviously it is proper that the world should be feeling joyous, rejoicing on hearing you speak and showing your form and so on and so forth, the grandeur which you're depicting. Okay. And it is obvious, then he also understands in his own self that it is obvious that Bhagwan is also the Atma. And why should somebody not rejoice the Atma? That which is pure, which is all pervasive, unending, infinite, imperishable, immutable, right? And Krishna is friend of all beings. He is trying to help everybody. So why should people not rejoice? It is only proper. Okay. Please go ahead.
The reason it is proper to rejoice Bhagwan is, Hey Mahatma, you who commands the highest respect, why should they all not bow to you? For you are the cause of the cosmic egg, the creator. Meaning to say that for the above reasons, you are the right person to celebrate and bow with respect. Hey Eternal One, Hey Lord of Gods, Hey the abode of the worlds, you are the supreme, imperishable Brahma, which is heard of in Vedanta.
So now he has collapsed both the form, okay, and Vasudev into Brahma, the creator. Vishnu, the creator, Vasudev has also merged with that, and that Ishwar Paramatma is all one. Ishwar, Paramatma, Brahma, Vasudev, Vishnu, Shiv, all have become one. Okay? Straight statement, collapsing it into one. As understood in Vedanta, used in the word Vedanta, the Brahma word in Vedanta is therefore just giving a reference to that particular point. Okay? And what is that? Truth. We'll have to understand this a bit. Okay. Just asking you to focus here. Both the truth and false, which are superimposed on that imperishable. Sorry, I have missed a line. Truth, Sat, that which is being is the truth. वो जो है वही सत है. And after that, and that in which mind sees is not. Mind, what does it see? The forms. Mind, what does it see? The body. Mind, what does it see? All that which we are seeing through eyes. Mind, what does it see? What we hear through our ears. Okay? All that what mind is seeing, hearing through its senses is not. It is false. Okay? That is false. वो असत है. Both the truth and false are superimposed on that which is imperishable. जो सच हम कह रहे हैं और जो हम झूठ कह रहे हैं वो भी वास्तव में हमने अपने ही शब्दों द्वारा, अपने ही कॉन्सेप्ट्स के द्वारा उसके ऊपर आरोपित कर दिया है. किसके ऊपर? जो इम्पेरिशेबल, इम्यूटेबल ब्रह्मा है, जो वो है, उसको हमने यदि सत शब्द से भी कहा तो सत शब्द भी जो है वो एक उपाधि ही है. It is only a title, only a prefix, suffix which we are giving to that which is that ultimate. Right? But that which in reality is, and that which is in reality is beyond the truth and the false. So it's neither truth nor false, it's beyond the truth and the false. So right in the middle of bhakti, this has been brought in to understand and explain that you the Atma, you the Brahma, I understand that clearly, and that is why I should bow to you as well, apart from the form Vasudeva. Okay? Which knowers of Vedas say is imperishable, that which is beyond truth and false is said to be imperishable. Right? And that Brahma is you. Okay? Meaning there is none other than you. So Arjun has understood this completely. Okay? That all this is one. All that what you are showing also has been shown through your own ability to show, and the ability you have given to me to see. But what is the truth, or that which is beyond the truth, is that which is imperishable Brahma. Arjun, even then, please go ahead.
Arjun even then praises, "You are the creator of this world and hence the primal God, and you are pervading each human being, Sharir Roop Pur. Hence you are the eternal being, Sanatan."
So let's understand. Sanatan is eternal being. जो पहले भी था, आगे भी रहेगा, अभी भी है. जो पहले भी था, उससे पहले कुछ था.
कृष्ण था,
हम्म?
कृष्ण था, विष्णु थे आगे,
उसको भी यदि हम वही माने तो एक ही था. तो जो पहले भी था, अभी भी है, बाद में भी रहेगा, चाहे उसने. अब यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा इसलिए क्वेश्चन उठता है कि यू आर द क्रिएटर ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड. तो क्या ऐसा है कि जो पहले भी था उसके भी आप क्रिएटर हैं? सो दैट सेपरेशन बिटवीन दैट क्रिएटर एंड दैट जो पहले भी था, वो हमारी बुद्धि में आ सकता है. वो उसको हटाने के लिए, उस भाव को निकालने के लिए, वही था, वही पहले भी वही था, जिसने क्रिएट किया वही भी वही था. ठीक है. हाँ, it is abstraction. Abstraction will be even more strong when we get into the next part of our discourse on Gita, and it is laying the foundation for that. So be ready for some amount of struggle in it. But here I am just introducing to it, and therefore he is being called as the primal God. कि कोई गॉड यदि माने भी, कोई ब्रह्मा माने भी, और कोई कहे कि ब्रह्म उत्पन्न करता है, ब्रह्म क्रिएटर है, उससे पहले कुछ और था, उसने ब्रह्म को क्रिएट किया, तो उन सब चीजों को आप कह सकते हैं कि वो एक ही है. ठीक है. इट इज जस्ट टू पुट दैट टू रेस्ट. ओके. एंड वील नीड इट लेटर ऑन. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग इट. ओके. Go on.
That formula which you gave us in the beginning,
Absolutely right.
it clarifies everything.
Correct. So what is the formula?
Brahman plus Maya equal to Jal.
Correct.
So Brahman plus Maya is the same thing.
Correct.
So Brahman is that primal God.
Everything.
First of all, इसके लिए word हो ही नहीं सकता because
We have given it a word. Actually, we have given it a word, Brahma.
For our mind's sake. Now, in the Maya part comes the God, Bala, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. That's in the Maya part, right?
Correct.
So minds like ours get confused. वो क्या है, फिर ये तीन क्या है? That's what you're trying to say. Right?
Yeah. So eventually, it's all one. And when we even see the manifested form of, let's say, Shiva, Vishnu, or let's say Krishna, understand that these are manifested. Let's say they are reincarnations, and that's how we hear about it or read about it in text. The reincarnations mean that they are people who have come into existence despite the fact that their awareness is fully all the time in that which is only one.
No,
Their awareness rests totally in that. Okay, but they have taken a form to do something to come into this existence. Yeah, please go.
So what I understand is possibly your point is that, Priya, how do you prove that this is so? Are you right? Is that what you are saying?
That Krishna is so.
That this whole thing, what we are just talking about, how to prove that this is true? We don't have any laboratory, chemicals and
So let's ask some questions. We going back to the first set of questions. Okay.
And I think, and possibly, I think the answer is that that's the part which no one can make it happen. That Vivek part, you know,
It is only by your own
without
self.
Vivek you need proof.
No. What proof?
So his question is,
Let's understand. Let's understand this. Okay. What proof is it possible for something which does not exist within the perceptions of anything to do with your mind? Okay. Your mind will demand proof because there are set patterns which the mind has in terms of its thinking to understand that this is proof. If it doesn't follow that logic, then there is no proof,
yeah, it's like there's an ocean,
right?
and if I only have a teacup, I can't measure the ocean, but that doesn't mean ocean doesn't exist.
That is
It means
right.
I
You're
don't have the
giving,
equipment.
now you're giving some sort of examples to it, okay? But what is the mind looking for? Mind is looking for cause and effect, right? All the time it is going to struggle within that context only. Now, if you are able to say that, let's take some examples, okay, that I am in a moving car. What happens? I see the trees going in the reverse direction. Correct? If I am still, I see the trees are not moving. My perception changes. I am looking at the sky and I see the sky to be blue. But if I go and search for the blueness in the sky, can I ever find it? So each of these things are certain set of perceptions which our mind is able to understand, grasp only because there is something which we have tried in some fashion or the other. I was standing still, I saw the trees are not moving, so I go into that particular thought when the car is moving that actually the trees are still, it's the car which is moving. Same way, because I can understand that the sky, if I go to look for that sky to be blue, I can never find it. You go there, you will find it. It is the same. So it is.
No, the point, 2 points, both are valid. One is if it is
No,
beyond understanding, then
no, I'm coming to
how
the
can
point.
our evidence be there?
Now I'm coming to the point. Okay, I'm using these two examples. Okay, so what do we say? If everything is moving, something has to be steady because movement is only relative.
Relative, yeah.
Time is relative.
Relative,
Everything else is also relative.
totally.
Okay, so there has to be something which is irrelative. And we are saying that I'm calling, let's say Brahma. I'm calling it as consciousness, super consciousness, whatever words I want to use. It's a concept.
Correct.
Absolutely, right? It's that X in mathematics. Okay. Now I say that, well, how could I be born? How did this come into existence? So I say that which was is I have already attributed that. So that is something which exists and that has led to this particular. Now I try and figure out how did this happen. Okay. If it exists, then how does everything run? So I have started attributing all the answers to those questions to that one which I've called one concept called Brahma. ठीक है? That X को उसको सब चीजें दे दी उसको, ठीक है? Imperishable, with no beginning, no ending, no change. Okay, all these have been put there. So it has been given some sort of, and who has given it? We have given it. Because it is otherwise supposed to be attributeless. That also we have said ourselves. Because if it had attributes, it would decay, it would go up, it could change. Am I right? That's a normal phenomena.
It's eternal.
All that we have done, right? Now, when we start approaching it with certain understanding, maybe we start realizing that the effects of those can be understood by us. The effects of those can be understood by us. We can see some miracles, we can see some things happening, we do some action, the outcome of that action is like this. If I do that action with a certain sense, then the peace which I get allows my mind to become
Peaceful.
peaceful and ekagra. It allows me to focus. And those who have focused, who have followed the text, therefore have been able to realize that which is that ultimate bliss. Now, the word bliss itself we can question. It's such a soft word that you can say, uska kya hai? Now, we can only say that we can understand it with the words which have been used by some people. The rest is for us to actually realize. रसगुल्ले का मिठास कितना मीठा है तो खा के पता
Just to
चलेगा.
experience.
आप उसको कैसे डिस्क्राइब करोगे? It's like that elephant in the room which a blind man has to figure out. Okay.
Vishwas.
Now, for that, you need all the stuff which is being explained. उसको समझने के लिए और आगे जाके हम जब और भी पढ़ेंगे अभी 2-3 चैप्टर्स के अंदर उसकी टेक्निक्स बताएंगे समझने के लिए. And when you apply those techniques, you start actually sensing it. Sensing is a very wrong word, but I'm just trying to explain.
So, two things here. One, which everybody is saying is the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Right? So, and second is, from the beginning we are saying it's beyond all the senses. But evidence can only be sensed by the senses.
Absolutely.
So it cannot be there.
So
It
absolutely.
follows that it can't be there.
So absolutely, what you're saying, the absence of evidence is not saying that it is absent. So you have to realize it in a particular way, which will be understood as we go along. Okay, because there is no way it can be understood. For example, suppose a blind man has to be told that this is what the sun is. How can you explain what the sun is?
No, that I know. Because
Yeah.
I have an extremely, I think I shared that humorous.
I know that. But still, when the question is there in your mind, we should look at that question because you are also saying simultaneously कि ये सबके दिमाग बुद्धि में है, ये जो प्रश्न है. That's why I'm sharing it. I could have told you, you've already understood, don't worry.
No, I've understood.
I know that part. But I'm just saying, since you raised the question, I'm addressing it. This question will keep coming up. Understand that Atma, Paramatma, Brahma, that oneness of that all explains it all. Okay, those who have realized it have actually said so, and we also start realizing it as we go along. It will come in spurts, right? It will come in spurts because that means that there is something happening which is out of the ordinary. You don't know how and why it is happening. Okay? Inexplicably, there is no cause-effect issue around it. The more you try to understand it, the more difficult it gets. We sit in dhyan and we want to experience that bliss. You will never get it. Okay, a lot of us would have done dhyan and they would have found bliss suddenly. Okay, those things will happen, but that is not something which is to be that is to be taken as part of this journey of the final realization.
Individual journey.
But you have to have a lot of faith. I think faith is a key
Bhakti,
word.
Well,
You have to believe and have
So
faith.
just like we have faith that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, because when you try and test it out with many things, it still comes out to be 4. You do an integral equation and you say, well, I can understand this because the opposite of that is something which I can understand.
But this is not, that's scientific, mathematical, but this is, there's a lot of abstract. Abstract.
In
and
mathematics,
so you have to believe.
in mathematics you
believe it
start.
in a different way.
Yeah, I understand. In mathematics, you start with abstraction. Right? Let me give you an example. So, what is the dimension of a point? You still put a point, right? It's a dimensionless. By abstraction, it is dimensionless. Okay. So, if there is a set of points which are linear, and I define that linearity, then the width of that particular line, which I call as line, should be 0. Even if I give dimensionless points serially put together to form a line, the line, and I'm calling that line exists because there are infinite number of points between point A and B of a line. And that infinite is whether the line is 1 inch long or 1 kilometer long, that infinite remains
Infinite.
as a concept. Abstraction. Am I right or wrong?
It's relative.
You don't know what that infinite is.
Because
It's abstraction.
between those two narrow points also there is an infinity.
Yes. Now, if there is no
Prove that
thickness of the
infinity.
line,
You don't know
I'm
what
talking
the
about
universe
simple
is.
geometry. I'm not even going into calculus. Okay. Okay. You take the thickness of the line, it is 0. I make a triangle out of 3 lines. The concept of three angles in a triangle sum up to 180 degrees can only happen if there is no thickness to the line. It remains as a concept. Can you draw a triangle without any thickness of the line? Or if you try and measure the angles and sum them up after drawing the triangle, will you get 180 degrees? No, because there is a thickness to the line. So mathematics is based on abstraction, which then goes on to explain the real phenomena in the phenomenal world. Okay, and that's how it becomes, comes out to be as an evidence to what we are trying to understand. And so on. Yeah. So I have to start trusting that that dot which has got no dimension. Okay, and follow the logic as is written in the books in that sense.
So I think there's a lot of trust involved
Yeah,
here also.
I didn't realize, yeah.
It will happen, but
I never
when it
thought
will
of it
happen,
like
you
that,
don't know.
yeah.
It's a journey, but when it will happen, you don't know. But you have to believe it. will
हिंदी
happen.
में तो विश्वास बोल देते हैं
हाँ हाँ सही बात.
सिंपल वर्ड विश्वास
Yeah, Vishwas is very important.
Is that okay, Rahul?
Practice is given here.
I'm waiting for us to get to 55.
Okay, the shloka number 55. Yeah, you read that, no?
This chapter.
You read that, right?
Because it's relevant to
Absolutely.
a lot of the discussion that we're having
Absolutely right.
now. In the journey till 55, he's telling us that look, I'm doing special things for you because I want you to believe. I don't do this for other things,
Yeah.
for the people. I haven't done it for the gods.
Yeah.
I haven't done it for the
Yeah,
those who have
everybody.
realized. So he's saying that all of this is something that's very special being done so that you get convinced of what you have to do. So he's doing what he needs to do. He's also said much earlier that very, very few people will get to moksha. So very clearly the journey, whilst is being, the parameters are being set, success is a long way down the road. And none of that will come unless there is faith.
Yeah.
So if we are expecting evidence at this stage, कल ये हो जाएगा,
No.
नहीं,
No.
पता नहीं इस जन्म में हो भी नहीं.
इस जन्म में 10
इस जन्म में शायद नहीं होगा.
वो तो बोल ही दिया है कि आपको 100 जन्म में भी दिया
Yeah,
गया
no,
है.
that is not the point. 5 janam, 10 janam, 100 janam is not the point. The point is it the right direction? That's all. Are we spending the 100 janam in the right direction?
That's a question which you have to ask for yourself.
No, that is not.
No, I'm not going to answer that question.
No, I'm just saying.
The answer will not come to the mind.
No, answers will also come to the mind. The fact that you're sitting here, you've not wasted, you would have thought, I'm wasting my time.
Influencing the mind.
Sorry?
There is something influencing the mind.
Possibly, very right.
We
Very right.
don't know that. Again, there is no evidence of that.
But I think this is the evidence.
I mean,
It is the evidence.
We don't know what is that prompt. That this group of 15, 20 meeting every week.
Yeah, I think we are all intelligent people. We have all choices to make.
By this time, all of us know that nothing is happening in a few days or a few weeks. Or
नहीं हो रहा है कुछ.
But something is still bringing us here.
There is something which you're finding useful in your daily life in terms of how you're thinking or applying or whatever,
Yeah.
which is helping you to think that there is something which I may be able to grasp, that which is the ultimate, maybe I will also grasp as I go along. Right? That's what it is.
Now,
Am I
to
right?
your point, if I have to walk a billion miles, you have to take the first step in that direction. It's one step at a time, anyway.
Correct.
unless you get technology to help. We don't know what the technology is. But some of the technology is
Sir,
being
वो
shared in
evidence
It's
this.
inconceivable.
वो evidence तो हमें ही पता है.
हाँ?
वो evidence तो हमें ही पता है.
हमें ही पता है और कोई बता भी नहीं
कोई
सकता.
बता ही नहीं सकता.
ये तो केवल थोड़ा सा इंडिकेट कर रहे हैं. एविडेंस तो हमारे पास अपनी ही आएगी ना.
Yes, the steps are given here in
सब दिए हुए हैं.
Karma Yoga है, Bhakti
सब दिए
है.
हुए हैं.
Steps are given here at least.
If you follow them, you will find the evidence. Okay, let's read further.
And you only are the supreme abode of this universe, meaning the place in which this entire world is based at the time of catastrophe, when the world dissolves. That abode or shelter is you, Jagat ka ashray.
तो ये जो कैटास्ट्रफी है ये महाप्रलय का समय. तो यहाँ पर जब वो इस प्रकार की स्थिति देखता है जहाँ पर उन्होंने ये क्रूर रूप धारण किया है, तो उसको ये लगता है, काल अग्नि शब्द यूज किया है कि आप काल अग्नि की तरह लग रहे हैं कि सब कुछ आप जो है नष्ट कर देंगे, सब कुछ भस्म कर देंगे. तो उस प्रकार से ये जो महाप्रलय का काल है, ये काल भी जो है उस समय में भी इस जगत को आप आश्रय देते हैं. Here the analogy could be taken that it is just like the water is held in a pot. Okay, the universe, the entire cosmos is held by the Ishwar. Okay. Please.
And you are the knower of all knowable things, and that which is worth being known is only you. You are the supreme.
So here
sacred
he
place.
is now also said that not, so he's been praising Krishna. Okay. First he praises him that you are the primal God. He's also therefore expressing that he understands that fully when he's praising him. Okay. And the thing which is, and that which is worth being known is only you. So he says that categorically as well. Okay. That he understands that fully. Yes, please.
You are the supreme sacred place, supreme status of Vishnu. O of infinite forms. The entire universe is complete due to you, is pervaded by you. There is no end to your forms.
Now, can somebody explain to me as to what is that, to say that there is no end to your forms, or you have infinite forms? How does Ishwar take infinite forms? Please. बोलो बोलो ऐसे आप बोल रहे हैं.
He is there
Who's-
in each creation.
Yeah, so
He's
in a
there
sense,
each
Billions of
creation.
people,
Yeah.
Billions of people, sun, moon,
Yeah, exactly.
Everything around
he is
you.
all pervasive, and therefore
Everything around you.
he is all pervasive. Therefore, he is in a sense taking all the forms. And what does therefore this indicate? It indicates that if I see a form,
It is Ishwar.
I see him.
should I see him?
Yes.
Simple logic.
And you are the wind, the god of death, Yam, the fire, the god of water, Varun, the moon, the progenitor, Kashyap, etc., who gives birth to beings. And you are the father of the father, meaning even the father of the creator. I bow to you 1,000 times, again and again.
So sometimes when we are praising people, we go a little overboard and we go on and we repeat. Okay, when we're praising, and that's what he's doing. So I'm bowing to you 1,000 times, again and again and again. So he is so overwhelmed by his understanding of Krishna, okay, of what he has just spoken about, that in that he is praising, okay, repetitively. Please. I'm sorry, it's written there. Huh?
By using thousands, the repetitive act gets indicated. Even then, the use of words like and again and once more shows Arjun's unsurpassed reverence, love, and the feeling that he is still not satisfied.
Hmm. We go to the sheet number 2.
We only got one.
So second one, can you share, please? Yeah, one, please. Or are we running out of time?
Sorry, 6:30, 6:29.
It depends. We want to get to 55 or not.
Can't do it today. Yeah. We don't want to rush.
But that was the starting point, which I understood. It's not going to happen today.
Happy we started there and everything gets allowed.
I know I have to give.
But if we take half an hour, we can actually finish it.
आपको दोनों एक क्या चाहिए ना हमें दे दें
एक surplus है.
Sorry?
These are the surplus.
Surplus of Mala.
Unless no one agrees to carry on.
I can go on. I have been going on. There is no need for any end to happen.
ये
But you're at a very
एक लास्ट
interesting stage.
एक और
Sorry?
You're at a very interesting
ये
stage.
लास्ट लाइन
Yeah, this is a very interesting phase. Yeah. This has got certain amount of it's very powerful actually. Thank you.
I think your point was that for Arjun